Welcome to Sales Simplified. Today we're going to talk about if statements. If statements allow us to analyze a situation in Excel, and based on the outcome, we can take one of two actions. In this scenario, we're going to open up a booth at a local event where we're going to sell some items from our gift shop. And from past experience, we know that we tend to sell lots of individual items. And so it would be easier for us to go ahead and have the price plus tax figured up. That way we don't have to break out the calculator for every single sale, especially since we're not going to have our cash register with us. And so I live in Tennessee and taxes are kind of high, I've been told. And so our tax for food is a little bit lower than it is for everything else. It's 7.25% in the area where we're having this sale for food, and then for everything else it's going to be 9.25%. And so we're going to be evaluating the category in column D to try to identify whether we're going to charge 7.25% sales tax for food items or 9.25% tax for everything else. Granted, in the long term, we would probably want to handle something like this with a VLOOKUP and a table of our categories and the corresponding tax levels, but we don't have time for that right now. And so before we jump right into the if statement, let's think about this in terms of something people may be a little bit more familiar with, and that's a decision tree. And so we can see here a standard decision tree where we have a question that has a yes/no answer. The question is the category food? If the answer is yes, we're going to charge 7.25% sales tax. If the answer is no, we're going to charge 9.25% sales tax. So if we rework this a little bit, it's a little bit better suited to an if statement. So we can see here, instead of a question, we have what's the equivalent of a statement. So we're saying the category is equal to food. And so then we can evaluate that as either being true or false. If the statement is true, then we're going to charge 7.25% sales tax. And if it's false, we're going to charge 9.25% sales tax. Now finally, if we go ahead and break that decision tree or that if statement decision tree apart and make it into an if formula, this is what we have. And so I did cut off the equal sign, but imagine it says equals if, open parenthesis, and then we have the statement that we're evaluating, which in this case is category is equal to food, and then we have a comma, and then the action we're going to take if the statement is true, which is to charge 7.25% sales tax, and then a comma, and then the action we're going to take if the statement is false, which is to charge the 9.25% sales tax. And so then we close the formula out with a parenthesis at the end. So let's go ahead and go back to Excel and try to create this formula here. And so again, we are trying to evaluate the category in column D. That's what we're comparing to the word food. And so we're going to say equals if, open parenthesis, D4 equals, and then we'll put the word food in quotation marks since it is not a formula, it is a static string of text. And then we're going to type a comma and type the action that we're going to take if the statement is true, and that will be to multiply C4 times 0.0725, and then we'll type a comma, and then we're going to type the action we're going to take if the statement is false, and that will be to multiply C4 times 0.0925. And we close the formula out with a parenthesis, and we hit enter, and now we're going to drag this formula down. And so now we're calculating our different levels of tax based on the category in column D. If this gradual approach to learning Excel in 5-minute increments or so is helpful to you, then go ahead and subscribe, and that way this will automatically show up in your future feeds. And you can also click the notification bell. Also, we have a Facebook page if you prefer to see our videos there. Thanks so much and have a great day.